This is it. We, I am standing between you and maybe a flight, a drink, or a nap. So, I know that. But I just want to. There are a few things I want to lift up. I want to thank Alicia for lifting up how power works and operates in our society, and how it is rigged against the communities that we care most about. I want to tell you a little bit about, before I wrap up, about why I think the change that I've been thinking about for women and families is possible. So, some of you know my story, many of you may not, but I was born in Los Angeles, California, to a teenage mom. We had very little. I did not know we had very little because I lived in my community and didn't know anything about anything else that was happening in other communities. And the idea that a brown-skinned black girl from Los Angeles, California, born to a teenage mom, was going to be anywhere except for where she had started was just impossible. And the path for my life was carved out before I could even think or dream about any kind of possibilities. And so what it took for me to get from there to this stage is rooted in that possibility and that belief about what could be without being able to see it, to not be able to know what was around the corner, and actually not knowing all the no's, all the barriers, all the doors that would slam. And so when I think about this work in this moment and the work ahead of us, it is that possibility that sustains me, that imagination. I remember sitting in my best friend's grandmother's window practicing my signature for when I was going to be a lawyer growing up. I imagined drawing the house that I would live in. I had never seen a house like that, but I imagined what my new house would look like. And I can tell you right now, today, I live in my forever home that looks like that house. So when I tell you that I believe that there is another way to do this work, another way to be in this work, a future that we have not seen that I know is possible, systems that are overhauled, systems that we know can be but does not exist now. I'm telling you because I know that, because that's what happened for me at a very personal level, and that's what I believe is possible at a very systemic level. I am not talking about incremental change. I am talking about the big change that is going to change everybody's lives. And I wanted us to be in that possibility to talk about, when I say moonshots, it seems very abstract, but I'm saying, what is the thing that we want that we haven't been able to say we want because of the fear of not being able to get it? And so that is what I want us to do. And I also want us to be in that tension. In the business panel, we saw that tension rise up really clearly. The tension between you need to own versus you need to be in, you need to be a CEO. That tension, that discomfort, that space where we don't know who's right or who's wrong, but we know that there's a third way, there's a different way, that is the tension that I want us to live in and lean in this work that we call gender equality, gender parity, whatever you want to call it, to get into that tension and that difficulty so we can create the new. That's what I want. I want the new. I don't want the tinkering around the edges. I don't want something that we've already seen. I want us to say, if we want universal child care, to say we want universal child care. We say we want more money, we go get that money. I want that. And so this summit was about the beginning of that, to saying boldly, what is the innovation? What are the ideas? Who's saying what? Who's doing what? What sectors? Who do we need to bring to this new table? And I hope that we were able to do that this weekend. Whatever day this is. I don't know. This is, everybody knows it was a rough week last week. But I'm here. We're all here. We've been here. We've been in joy, by the way. I want to be very clear that the intentionality of this space, we've all been doing this work for many, many years in church basements with very little money, and the expectation is we will do it that way. We don't have to do it that way. You know, it's all right to dance. It's all right to eat well. It's all right to rest. It's all right to not have to tap dance to be able to come to a place like this, present. You can listen. You can learn. You can absorb. You can connect. And that is all we owe ourselves in this space. So I just want to thank you all for going on this journey with me, for traveling. I did make it seem like you couldn't say no for many of you. And kept asking over and over and over again until you said yes. But you said yes, and you showed up. And people who've been watching live streaming for the last couple of days, I want to say thank you for tuning in and staying with us. This is only the beginning of the work. I don't know if this is inaugural because this was a lot of work, okay? But we are going to continue this conversation, take the moonshots. I do think that we should have something bold, like benchmarks, so that we can measure our progress. But I want to work with everybody to identify those benchmarks and where we should be headed and just do the work together. So thank you so much. And I'm so glad that you're here and we're done. And have a really good flight back home. Thank you so much.